Sorry about that, babe.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Bits and Glory pickups videos. This month it's going to be all gaming. In the past I had a few movies and stuff like that, but nothing this month. All gaming. We're going to do it down and dirty and as quick as possible because we have a lot of stuff to go through, and I don't want to make these super duper long. So, also a quick note, I've been doing monthly. I am going to stop that. I'm going to start doing it when I feel like I've reached like a good point for a video, because sometimes I feel like I've been a little bit overwhelmed with how much stuff there was, or sometimes, you know, maybe it would be better if I combined 2 months together, things like that basically. So this will be the end of the monthly video, so to speak, and from now on it'll just be numbered and I'll release it as I see fit basically. So first things first, let's get started. We'll start with the only strategy guide I got this month, and that's for the Aidyn Chronicles, which is an RPG on the N64. I acquired a box copy in the last pickup video, and this arrived a little bit later than that, so technically fell into the basket of this month, or this pickup video, however you want to call it now. I'll do my best to try to keep things somewhat organized, I guess, and sort of like attached as far as like if things were in trades or I bought them on a certain day or what have you. Two very, very tiny pickups. These were actually part of the gigantic retro haul. I didn't realize that I didn't have Madden 97 or Super Bases loaded on Super Nintendo, so instead of having them in the quote-unquote bulk/sell on eBay trade pile, they're going into my collection, because I just didn't realize I didn't have them. I think I had Madden 97 on Sega Genesis, so that's probably why I got confused, and for some reason I just fell asleep on Super Bases loaded, not sure. Next, let's go into some N64 stuff. Damn it, label's peeling already. Couple things I got mostly off of Mercari, but I think most of this is off Mercari except one game which I got on eBay. I tracked down GoldenEye again. You know, obviously it's one of the better multiplayer games of all time, even though I do shit on N64. I wanted to kind of go through and start getting a few of the better games. I still need a lot of the Marios and stuff, but with that huge retro game haul, and we got the end labels on there. You know, it kind of like sparked back up a little bit of interest in the N64. I kind of dipped out again already. I bought kind of what I wanted aside from like the super heavy hitters. You'll see some more here. And I'm gonna kind of dip back into oblivion with the N64 for a bit as other things are piquing my interest. Next we got Doom 64. It's not the best label, but this was part of a lot on Mercari that also came with Blast Corps, Shadow Man, which also got recently re-released, I think on Steam or something, like an HD version. South Park, a classic from when I was a kid. All I remember about this, I haven't played it since I was a kid, I remember that you could pee in snowballs, and it was like about the turkeys and stuff, like it was old school South Park. And the last part of that lot was Toy Story 2, because why wouldn't you have a Toy Story 2 game in your lot with South Park, right? What next? What next? Alright, let's actually just jump into here. So, I've been in the market for a PSP, and my friend Bobby was gracious enough to, he wanted to give me this, and I was like, fuck no, dude, I'm not just gonna take a PSP from you. This is the green, I believe it's a Metal Gear, one of the Metal Gear releases on the PSP. Looks like it's barely played. Bobby took really good care of it. We worked out a deal where basically I bought him a Dunkin' Donuts gift card. And I got this, and it also came with the Kingdom Hearts game on the PSP. No case, but I ordered the case on eBay for pretty cheap, so that should be coming in the mail sometime this week. And then one of the main reasons why I bought the PSP was mostly because of the RPGs and the portability of it. And I got one that I've been wanting for quite some time. I actually bought it new. It was like $5 more new, so I figured, fuck it, I'll just buy it new off of Amazon. That's Final Fantasy IV, which a lot of the Final Fantasies on the PSP, I guess you could almost say that the definitive editions, they look wonderful. And this one, for example, comes with the After Years, and the graphics are still in a nice 2D style, or as opposed to like maybe the one on the DS or the phones. They're kind of in 3D, and I'm not a huge fan of that art direction. I like this one a lot more. So I think probably the first PSP game I'll play through is this. Kind of do it at my own leisure. I'm not gonna, like, obviously I'm not streaming, but I'm not gonna record it for YouTube or anything like that. It's gonna be a leisurely play it while you take a shit type of system, you know what I mean? Alright, next, I guess we'll get into the pickups that I got. Actually, no, first we'll do this. So I went to a local comic store that I knew sell games, and I haven't been there for years. And I went the one day with my friend because we had nothing else to do, really. And I found some decent games there, actually. So, a couple PS2 games and Atari 7800 games. So, we got Armored Core 2 and 3 by From Software, H-Tech. I'm obviously like in the market to eventually complete my collection of all games that From Software came out with, at least in the English market. It's gonna be a little tough. A few of them are pretty expensive at this point, but these two were both priced pretty cheap. I can't remember which one is which. One of them is like smack dab, like this is $12.99, this is $9.99. One of them is like perfectly in line with eBay. One of them was actually about half price. So I bought it on a whim. I didn't even look anything up when I was there. Both complete, both in really good shape. At the end of the day, you know, I got one for retail and one for half off, so I guess I can't really complain. We also picked up 4 Atari 7800 games that were complete in box. They look like that they were maybe smoke or fire damaged in some way, shape, or form. Like, they're really not bad, but they have some kind of like ashy film on the top. I gotta clean them off. I still haven't cleaned them. We got Crossbow on the Atari 7800. These are complete, so it's pretty cool. If I remember correctly, yeah, this is a Atari, it's a light gun game for the 7800. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a pretty big Atari 7800 mark, so I really appreciate things if I can get them for decent prices in the box. One that I'm probably not really going to play much is Dr. J vs. Larry Bird one-on-one, but again, didn't have it in the collection. 7800 isn't a huge library, and when it's presenting itself to me, so to speak, I can't pass on it, which leads me into Touchdown Football, also complete in the box. Again, probably not a game that I'm really going to be playing much, if at all, but you know what? I was out there, letting it fly, fuck it, you only live once, right? And then lastly, we got Cracked, which I actually heard is a pretty good game. I could be wrong, but yeah, it looks like it's, I don't know what you'd say, maybe kind of like a puzzle platformer, puzzler, something like that. It's an exciting adventure though, I'll tell you that much. So those were the games that I got from that store. Pretty happy with that, all in all. After I looked things up, you know, I got a pretty decent price, as opposed to the retail value of a lot of things. I guess we will now get into, actually, we'll do this first. Probably the last PS1 purchase I'll be making for a while. Guardians Crusade Complete, which is an RPG. Pretty interesting. I remember seeing this one as a kid. Like, your companion is this like pink thing. I know it's kind of tough to explain, but this popped up on Mercari for like almost $30 below the cheapest eBay, so I just jumped on it right away. But I've cooled my jets with the PS1. Other than like Suikoden 2, there's like one other game. I mentioned it the other night. Suikoden 2, Valkyrie Profile, for example. Like, there's a few games that I still don't have that I'd like to have, but they're so freaking expensive that I'm just not in the mood at the moment. So, happy to add that. And now we can get into the games that I got when I went to go visit our very own RyuRonin and Freakswat. For those of you that don't know, we all live in Pennsylvania. So, they live a little bit closer to the Philly area. Please focus, thank you. So it's a little bit of a hike for me, but we went to a couple game stores. Freak and I did a little bit of a deal. I totally forgot about this, actually. Ended up getting Medal of Honor. It's a good thing. I almost bought Medal of Honor. I completely forgot that Freak and I had a deal in place. But I'm happy to add that to the collection. I'd actually like to play through that one as a bits play, because I haven't played many FPSs in a long time, and I remember this one as a kid, so thank you, Freak. Next, I'm gonna actually go, this was the last stop that we went to. I picked up a pretty obscure Sega Genesis game called Marsupilami? Marsupilami. I've literally just never fucking seen it before, and it was in the box. It's one of the non-clamshell boxes. It was a decent price compared to eBay, maybe like $8 cheaper or something like that than the cheapest buy it now. But it's just such an oddball title that I was like, you know what, I gotta have it. So, got it. And then on the way out, Freak talked me into this, and I'm glad that he did, because as you guys know, I love collecting complete in box RPGs, and I didn't have this complete in box, I only had the cartridge. So now I could sell the cartridge on eBay or something like that, unless I have already, I can't remember. But I ended up getting a complete in-box copy of Wizardry, and the battery backup still works from what I could see, so I'm pretty happy to add that to the collection. Eventually I do want to complete out North American RPG releases for NES, Sega Genesis, SNES, and Game Boy. That's going to be lofty though, doing it on the Game Boy, but you know what, long-term goals, right? So I got that from the last stop on our trip, and then one of the earlier stops, the best stop in my opinion, I traded in a bunch of odds and ends and games that neither Ryu or Freak wanted, and that I couldn't really get much for. I just noticed there's a razor hair on the inside. I didn't get much store credit, to be honest with you, but in those instances it's like it's more of a hassle than anything trying to sell it on eBay and having to ship everything out individually or whatever. So I ended up getting store credit where I got Toki on the NES for free. There's a little bit of label damage on the top, as you guys could see, but overall it's in decent shape and obviously it works. Toki is a game that I never played the NES version. I had the Sega Genesis version growing up, and they're fairly similar, but obviously a little bit different, clearly. But you're still an ape spitting shit out of his mouth. Toki going ape spit, as they said on the Sega Genesis version. So basically having that for free for games that I would never fucking play in a million years or didn't even want, I'll take that any day of the week. And then probably definitely the crown jewel of the trip. Unfortunately, I didn't notice it until I got home. It's missing one of the top, like when you have the box, there's like the two tabs, and then there's the top tab that folds in like that. It's missing one of those two top ones, which sucks, but Final Fantasy V Advance complete in box, obviously for the Game Boy Advance. You're going to see a theme coming up soon that I'm currently really into Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. So that was the end of that trip. It was really nice meeting Freak and Ryu in person for the first time. Hopefully we can get something together maybe after my wedding coming up here in a little while. So let's get those on the floor and then let's kind of buzz through the end here, and then I got to get to putting these things on the shelf. We could do a quick separation, because I do have a bit of a trade section with our very own JimmyA. I'll link everybody's stuff in the description below. Just gotta make sure that I'm putting these in the correct spots. Bear with me. Alright, so these can go here. Spoiler alert, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so I made some trades with Jimmy, mostly for NES stuff, a couple Sega things. There may have been a little bit of money involved, I can't quite remember. First, we'll start off with the Nintendo DS stuff. We got Final Fantasy III on the DS. I actually had this game back in the day, never played it, sold it, regretted it, got it back. It's in pretty decent shape. It was missing the manual, but I ended up finding a manual on eBay for like $6 or something like that, so thank you, Jimmy. Also part of that deal was a loose copy of Pokemon Diamond. I'll see if I can get the box and manual for a decent price, but Pokemon stuff is pretty nuts right now, so I don't know about that. We'll have to see. And then, basically, I got a bunch of boxes and manuals and stuff like that for the Game Boy Advance from Jimmy. Most of these games I had already. A few of them I ended up having to buy on eBay, not that big of a deal. First, we'll get started with Jurassic Park. I think this is Jurassic Park 3 Island Attack. Again, all this stuff is just box and manual. Some of these I do have the games for already, or they're coming in the mail, so pretty cool. Most recently, Super Mario Advance 2, which is Super Mario World, a Game Boy Advance port of it. I already had the cartridge, so I just traded for the box, manual, and map from Jimmy. Next, we have Mario Kart Super Circuit, box and manual. Box is in a little bit of rough shape, but it's not that big of a deal when it's inside these things. Again, this is another one that I had the cartridge for, so now it is complete. And probably the two more desired ones of the bunch, I would say, were the box and manual for both of the Zeldas from the classic NES series. Some of these are pretty pricey, like, what was it that I was looking at the other day? It might have been like Metroid or something like that. Complete was like nuts. Some of them are really cheap. I don't know, like the pricing's all over the place, but I'd like to eventually get the classic series complete one day. I do have a couple cartridges for Metroid, Mario Brothers, and Dr. Mario? But anyway, it's always cool to have, you know, old ports on handheld systems, so thank you for these, Jimmy. I also really like the black box look of it. It's really cool looking. Obviously, I love this one. Beat it a couple times. This one I still have yet to really try to beat it. Maybe soon. And again, thank you, Jimmy, for the deals. All right, and I guess we will move on to the rest of the Game Boy Advance stuff. We're just gonna bust through quickly here. I'm trying to wrap it up in under 25 minutes. So we're just gonna go through, guys. These are all complete in box, by the way. They're not missing anything other than maybe bullshit inserts, but manuals and maps, all that kind of stuff, they're all included. And this is Golden Sun: The Lost Age, which is the sequel to Golden Sun. I've never played this one at all, but I remember playing this one a lot in high school, and then I got distracted because of football training camp and I never finished it, and I freaking loved this game. This was one of my favorite RPGs that I ever played, and I really, this might be a candidate for upcoming Bits Play pretty soon, not gonna lie. So yeah, I'm so happy to have the 2 Golden Sun games on the Game Boy Advance. And next, as you guys saw, we had Final Fantasy V Advance. Well, we also got Final Fantasy IV Advance, Final Fantasy VI Advance, and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. So, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance box and manual was actually in a trade with Jimmy as well, but I ended up flipping that already because literally like a day before we reached that deal, I had purchased the box and manual for this already, so I had a double, and then obviously it was just part of the deal that we made, so then I flipped it for a pretty cheap, pretty good price. I'm sure the person that bought it's happy with what I sold it for, so. Very happy to have all those Final Fantasy games complete in box on the Game Boy Advance. And then next we got some more RPG action. We got Sword of Mana. I got this for free on Amazon with my monthly reward points from my credit card. From what I'm understanding, this is actually a remake of the Final Fantasy Adventure. I could be wrong. If I am, somebody can correct me, but I loved the Final Fantasy Adventure. I reviewed it once upon a time, and I'd be really excited to play this at some point in the near future. We also have Tales of Phantasia, Game Boy Advance version, complete in box, obviously. I have the Super Famicom version, but I didn't have the actual like reproduction cartridge where it's translated into English. I got it for use on the Retron 5, but obviously this one's already in English, so probably be the way that I go if I play it, but we'll see. And we got some upgraded ports, if you will, with a few new additions into the games, and that's Breath of Fire and Breath of Fire 2 complete in backs box for the Game Boy Advance. I still haven't played through Breath of Fire 2, but I did play through Breath of Fire 1 and I did enjoy it. Breath of Fire 2 apparently is a lot better, but it suffered from some poor translation issues when coming over to America, so I'm wondering if they fixed those or not, but I guess we'll find out when we play. Whoa! Alright guys, and we are down to the final 3 regular Game Boy games here. Pretty happy to add all of these to the collection. I had the cartridges already, so one of these I'm actually selling / trading to Freak. Did I get the... And then 2 of them I just got the boxes, the maps, and the manuals. And then I have another one coming in the mail that has the cartridges I'll end up selling on eBay. But that'll be reserved for another video, so we'll just get to it. We have the Final Fantasy Adventure, which was what I had mentioned previously. So this is technically the first Secret of Mana game, and for some reason in America they decided to rename everything. I don't know why. It's an action RPG. It's really cool. I reviewed this exact copy, I just didn't have the box and manual, all that kind of stuff, map, years ago. So dig through on the channel to find that. Pretty good game, pretty good review if I do say so myself. And then lastly, some more weird naming conventions. We have the Final Fantasy Legend complete in box for the Nintendo Game Boy. And also, the Final Fantasy Legend 2 complete in box for the Game Boy. This thing arrived so fast, I bought it and it was like here 2 days later. I couldn't believe it. So for those of you not in the know, these games are technically not Final Fantasy games either. They're part of the Saga series, so Saga Frontier, things like that. These are, I believe this is the first Saga game. I could be wrong, but I think it's the first Saga game. And then this may or may not be the actual number 2. They released a lot of Saga games that we didn't get all of them, obviously, so... But yeah, that's it, guys. That's it for this this month's pickup videos. Like I said, in the future, we're gonna kind of change up the format a little bit to as we go. But I hope you guys did enjoy watching. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Really appreciate all and any support. And let's get to gaming, right? I'll see you guys in the next pickup video. Take care.